and it translates back from Yahushua to Yasha or to Yahshua or Yahshua or Yahshua. Same thing, one and the same, which means Yah is salvation. So he says in the scripture, she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahshua. Watch what he says. For he shall save his people from their sins. So he, who's the he? The he is the creator, Yah. So it says, Yah shall save his people from their sins. So when you say Yahushua, that means Yahweh will Shua save, brothers and sisters. Not Jesus. Jesus don't mean nothing. Jesus just means Jesus, Hail Zeus. But Yahshua means Yah will save. Yahushua. Yah will save his people. Yahushua. He's going to save his people from their sins. And that's what that means. Now read it again with understanding. He says, she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahushua or Yahshua. For he will save. Yahshua. Yahushua. He will save his people from their sins. So did you get a handle on that? Okay. So Jesus is a substitution, brothers and sisters. I know you was raised up calling on Jesus, and I was raised up calling on Jesus too, brothers and sisters. But it was a hard pill to swallow. Just swallow it, okay? Get you some water, okay? Sit down. Turn the heat off. You know, get you a fan yourself. You know what I'm saying? Cry if you will, if you have to. Come on now, get on your knees and cry. And say, "Oh, I didn't know I was calling on Zeus," because that's what it really boils down to, brothers and sisters. Okay. Now, let me get back before I went to meddling. So he says here, Jesus came in the name of Zeus. All right? But Yahshua came in the Father's name, which means Yah is salvation. Now, look at 5 Yachanan, or you call it John chapter 5, verse 43. Yachanan or John chapter 5, verse 43. Look at what he says. John or Yachanan chapter 5. Verse number 43. He says, I am come in my Father's name. Underline that. Read that again. I am come in my Father's name, and you receive me not. Watch this now. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. You have received an impostor, brothers and sisters. This man named Jesus is an impostor. Jesus ended, brothers and sisters, the commandment. Jesus ended the commandment. It says Jesus ended the commandments, and Jesus also changed the Sabbath to Sunday. He changed the weekly, the 7th day, the day of rest, from Saturday to Sunday. That's what Jesus did. Okay? Now, but Yahshua came in his Father's name. Yahshua taught the commandments. Yahshua kept the Sabbath. Yahshua taught the Sabbath and taught to obey the law and the statutes and the commands of the Most High. Now, let's look at the scripture on that, okay? Let's look at Matthew chapter 5, verse 19. Matif Yahu chapter 5, verse 19. Go back to Matif Yahu chapter 5, verse 19. Matif Yahu chapter 5, verse 19. Matif Yahu chapter 5, verse 19. And it says, Matif Yahu chapter 5, verse 19, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments. Let's look at verse 18. Let me back up to verse 18. He says, these are the words of Yahshuwah, the Messiah, who you call Jesus. When you get done with this video, hopefully you'll learn that his name is not Jesus. Okay, now. And we know that this is the Messiah speaking because it's in the red. It's a red letter edition. It's in the red. Okay? All right, now. Think not that I am come to destroy the law. For you law people saying we're not under the law no more. This is the words of the Messiah who you say you serve, who you call Jesus. This is his words. He's saying this, not me. This is what he says. Think not I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Now that word in Greek for fulfill means to make replete, not to do away with, to make it possible, brothers and sisters. So he came to make it possible for you to keep the law. Now watch what he says here. Verse 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. So, the Messiah said that one jot, one tittle of the law shall not pass away until all be fulfilled. Verse 19, look what he says here. He says in verse 19, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men, so he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Now, I want to read that again. Look at me close, brothers and sisters. Look at my face. I'm going to take my glasses off. Look into my eyes. Do I look stupid to you? Let's read that again, because some of these so-called theologians and pastors going to have you straight up in the lake of fire, because they are telling you a lie. Look in my eyes. Call me. Give me a call. 312-927-4373. Give me a call. Please call me. And we can talk about this. Don't send me no email or no message on the YouTube video. Give me a call. Let's talk. Let's discuss the scriptures, okay? Now look at what the Messiah said in the scriptural text. He said, verse 19, hear it. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, that includes the Sabbath, the seventh day, called the Shabbat. He says, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men, so he shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. So the Messiah is saying, listen, if you teach people to disobey, you're going to be called least in the kingdom. Now I want to go to Isaiah chapter 66. Last chapter in the book of Isaiah. This is the fate of those who continue to disobey the commands and teach it. He says you're going to be the least in the kingdom. You are going to be in the flames of the Most High for disobedience. I don't want to be in there. I hope you don't want to be in there. I hope you're not grace riding. I'm saved by grace. Okay, we're going to deal with Shaul's teaching in another lesson, because I have that coming, so I want you to stay tuned. We're going to deal with Shaul's teaching in the next lesson. Now, look what he says here. He says, verse 23, Isaiah chapter 66, called Yasha, which means salvation, Yah, the salvation of Yah. There goes that word again, Yasha, Yah. In the book of Yah, chapter 66, verse 23, it says, and it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Shabbat, or seventh day, to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith Yah. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me.